Shalom, brothers and sisters. And today I'm going to continue about the same matter, the most important matter of all, Yahusha, Messiah, his identity, his true identity. Because there is nothing more important. This is what our salvation, our deliverance depends on. Our life depend on if you know who he is, because that opens the way to receiving his love, that we receive the love from Yahweh and all the blessings, so we can be the vessels for the works of divine Ruach. That's what the truth is. Without the knowledge who Yahusha is and who the Father is, that's the base, the foundation of all things. We won't be able to proceed. We won't be able to proceed. And so I'm going to continue. I had a just issue here. There's always when something important I want to say and it's happening with the devices. And another thing I want to say before I started, I'm not showing my face, and I never do because I cannot actually focus for some reason when I see my face on the screen. And I don't want the word to be manipulated, or I don't want to manipulate myself, and I'm talking about being distracted because it's not what I want to say. It's nothing what I really want to say here. I'm very careful, and this is not from the script. I don't have anything written, so I will not let you know that. I was talking about 3 different theories about who Yahusha is. And sometimes I just think this is too much about the philosophy man actually uses. It's not of Yahweh. We forget about one important thing, that Yahweh, he's above us, and his thoughts are higher than ours, and his understanding is higher than our understanding. He said that clearly. And also another thing we need to remember, that we are the clay and he is the potter. Our mind, our understanding, our position is very low compared to his position. So if we try to figure it out how all stuff works, how he does it, and try to turn to logic of man, that's where we're getting the crazy theories. What comes to me, what Yahusha says, he speaks the parables. And he says that to the taught ones, to you was given, but not to the rest. Yes, the parables are so easy. They're very easy. There is nothing really to explain that. But they still did not know. The taught ones still ask him what those parables mean. If you hear the noises on the background, that's some works, construction work is going just here next to my place. But that's not going to stop me to come here. You can still hear me, obviously, because I do listen after I go on live. I listen. If you can hear me, people can hear me. All right, we get to the bottom of it now. First of all, I go this time from the third theory, the last theory, which speaks, and is probably the most popular like we say, it's very popular, which says that Yahweh and Yahusha are one and the same. I'm talking exactly the same. And this is right away can be abolished. This can be abolished right away, and you can see the scriptures which are here below, which I put to, you can just see it for yourself, and I can read them for you. And just go and read them here. So first one is, both are from John, Yohanan 14. So first one says, so I start, Yahusha said to him, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So first of all, he already speaks clearly that there is a difference. So there is a Father, and he's separating himself from the Father. So I'll say again, no one comes to the Father except through me. So there is Yahusha and there is the Father. So he's also in some of the passages advising his taught ones how to pray to the Father. So if he will be the Father, why he will say how to pray to the Father, and how he will even call for the Father, and why he will go to the mountain, withdraw to the mountain and pray to his Father, if there will be only him. Or you already basically nullify in those passages the theory that Yahweh and Yahusha are one and the same person, the same one identity, like entity. Like I'm talking about equality, so they exactly the same. So Yahusha is all Yahweh, which is not what it is. They are one. Like I was speaking about the body parts. My hand is one with me. My mouth is one with me. My eyes are one with me. But they are not. One, my arm is not all my body. I have other body parts too, And my arm is only one of my parts. And it's much lesser than my whole body. Okay? So that's clear. And it's explained in the other part of the scripture. It is the same, actually, the same chapter, but it's verse 28, like I think I remember right. 28. Okay, so yes, it is 28. You heard that I said to you, I'm going away and I'm coming to you. If you did love me, you would have rejoiced that I said, I'm going to the Father, for my Father is greater than I. So Yahusha says that openly, and he declares that he is lesser than his Father here in this verse. And if you don't believe in this word, you call Yahusha liar. So you're basically saying that he lies here, that's not true. He is the same as his Father, and he just lies that he is lesser than his Father, which this is bad. This is bad. You say the word is lying. And don't dig through the translation and try to prove that says something else. And Yahusha warned about twisting the scriptures, twisting the word. He did warn. Next one, it's another passage I want to read for you. I think that was Yeshayahu 14 or Yeshayahu 7, which I'm going to check just now. Yeah, I have this ads popping up. If you heard some noises, it's don't get distracted, please. Okay, so this is Yeshayahu 7, I believe so. It's not. I'm going to find it. Anyway, that passage speaks about Yahusha being the one who is born from the woman, and Emmanuel will be born, which means the Amanah or Amanah virgin will conceive, and the son will be called Emmanuel, El with us. So we know Yahusha is the boy, is that son who will be born from virgin, and who was born from virgin. So he is not man either. He is not half Elohim, and he's not all Yahweh. I want to get to this because I have the devices marking around this all going. I know what's going on right now. Everything is start to just. I have like obstacles coming on in front of me, and the technology and everything starts to go wrong here. But I can't because it's to distract me. I'm not going to get distracted. Um, so the first theory about that Yahusha is all Yahweh is already not working here. Yahusha would not call his father at all. He would just put everything on him, on himself. And plus, he always said, I do my father's works. He always said that. That wasn't my work. He didn't do that works from himself, but from his father, because all comes from his father. And he esteemed his father all the time. And he ascended to the Father. If he will be one with the Father, why all the story will be made? It will be all lie, wouldn't be? The next theory, we go for the one which Yahusha is the man who only got immersed in the Ruach HaKodesh when the dove came upon him, the Ruach, and that's when he received it. But he was a man, and then he was like baptized or immersed, and he became the one who is the first man who was immersed in the Ruach, the anointed, the Messiah. And this is pretty much a very dangerous theory. And I will explain in the end of it, I will explain why. But I start from the first thing. So we know that Yahusha had a vision, and she saw the messenger appear to her. I believe it was Gabriel, archangel, and he said, you will have a son, you will conceive, you will have a son, his name will be Yahusha, and he will be the Messiah, the son of living Elohim. And she was a virgin, and she did not know how that will happen. And she says, how is this possible? And he said to her, it will be the Ruach will ascend on her, will come upon her, and she will conceive. So we know it did not happen through Yosef, her husband, which she didn't even come close to him. They didn't consume the marriage yet. So this is another conspiracy. I'm not saying conspiracy actually is true, so I won't say that. This is another false theory. And this one is actually one of the quite dangerous one. And I will get to it. Because many of other religions, not that I'm talking about not Christianity here that much, because Christianity is the one which speaks basically that Yahusha is Yahweh, is the same as he is. But like Judaism and I think Islam, they believe in Yahusha as a prophet. And Judaism, it will be acceptable if you say that Yahusha is a man, because that's what they don't like if you say you call him that he is the son of living Elohim. But if you say he was just a man anointed, you will be fine. So this is good escape way not to be persecuted by Jews, by Judaism, by those who believe that Yahusha wasn't the son of living Elohim. So if you say, oh yeah, he was just a man, you save your life. Good on you. Great theory. And you can join with the Zionists together, waiting for the temple to be built. And you can praise those leaders. I'm not happy. I'm not really rejoicing. Because what those dark forces do, they create all those theories to send you astray. Because you probably somewhere, you stumble somewhere, maybe. And Yahusha would not reveal something to you more than we do, because he did not only suffer physically extreme suffering, but also all the sin was on him. How heavy it is. Can you imagine how he felt? He had this sin of the world on him, and that sin was nailed to the stake. He put that on him, and plus he was humiliated continually. Not just when he was on the stake, but when he was on earth, he was mocked, he was humiliated, he was laughed at, and uh, he was faced with disbelief everywhere. Doesn't matter the works he did, which were from his father. Doesn't matter. He was always mistreated and disrespected, and he was blameless. If you say he was a man, if anyone says that he was a man, there is no man who can be blameless. Or you want to put yourself as high as Yahusha is. Because those who believe that Yahusha was just a man and he was a baptized, immersed in Ruach HaKodesh. So just because he was immersed, so you think you can be like him, that you sinless, you will be with no sin, without sin, and make you and uplift you to his level. It's serious matter. It's not something we should treat lightly. Your life depends on this. You think I speak just to make you feel sad, or to crush you, or upset you, or maybe you think, why I'm doing this? Why you think I'm doing this? You think I'm doing that for myself? It's not true, because I love you all, and this is not my love, but Yahuwah's love, his love. And I cannot explain why I'm here bothering. Some people say, why you bother? Nobody hears anyway. But that's what the prophets faced. Nobody cared. They were loved, they were ignored, they were disregarded, and nothing changed. Everyone wants to hear what is pleasant. Nobody wants to hear what is uncomfortable. And the theory that the one which speaks about that Yahusha is half a man and half Elohim, it's another messed up stuff. And why? First of all, this comes from mythology. Half a goat, half a man. Because it's a part of him, part of Yahusha was from Mary, from the person, from a human, and the other from Elohim. So it's half and half. This already is false. Then you go to mythology. Maybe can go easy with the New Age movement. They all about those demigods and all those deities. The answer is simple. Yahusha is one with Yahweh, but he is his arm of redemption. And I will ask you to read Yeshayahu 53 for yourself, and especially verse 1. And I'm going to read it now. Actually, I love that, and I will read entire chapter here because it's a beautiful chapter. It's beautiful. It's about Yahusha, how wonderful he is, that he is the gift of love for us from Yahweh. And I want to say something before I start to read this passage. Think about that. I give you parable, okay? Maybe a little bit different parable than Yahusha, but it will be something like that. So like I mentioned, we all have a body and we have body parts, different body parts. And for example, if I burn my finger or burn my hand, would it hurt? Would I feel the pain or not? Now think about this. If Yahusha is Yahweh's arm and he was on a stake suffering and died for us, did Yahweh, his father, feel the pain? Did he feel the pain? The suffering Yahusha felt? He did. Now, you will understand how big Yahweh's love is. And that's why if you know the true identity of Yahusha, you will love Yahweh more. You will love him so much. You will love him above all things. And you will receive all the blessings of his love, his anointing, and his authority. But now I'm going to read Yeshayahu 53. Who has believed our report, and to whom was the arm of Yahweh revealed? For he grew up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of dry ground. He has no form or splendor that we should look upon him, nor appearance that we should desire him. Despised and rejected by men, a man of pains and knowing sickness, and as one from whom the face is hidden, being despised, and we did not consider him. Truly, he has borne our sicknesses and carried our pains, yet we reckon him smitten, stricken by Elohim, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our crookedness. The chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his stripes we are healed. We all, like a sheep, went astray. Each one of us has turned to his own way, and Yahweh has laid on him the crookedness of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, but he did not open his mouth. He was led as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent, but he did not open his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment. And as for his generation, who considered that he shall be cut off from the land of living, for the transgression of my people he was stricken. He was appointed to the burial site with the wrong, and with the rich at his death, because he had done no violence, nor was deceit in his mouth. But Yahweh was pleased to crush him. He laid sickness on him, that when he made himself an offering for guilt, he would see a seed He would prolong his days, and the pleasure of Yahweh prosper in his hand. He would see the result of the suffering of his life and be satisfied. Through his knowledge, my righteous servant makes many righteous, and he bears their crookednesses. Therefore, I give him a portion among the great, and he divides the spoil with the strong, because he poured out his being unto death, and he was counted with the transgressors. And he bore the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors. To receive the truth, it's up to Yahusha. I'm not the one to make you believe in this, so you will receive. I just speak. So it's up to Yahweh, but first Yahusha. They are one, but Yahusha has that rights to let you know the truth, to allow you to know the truth, to inform you. So I only say I'm the witness to it, and the rest, the main job, the work, is not in my hands, but it's in Yahweh's hands, in Yahusha's, in the Ruach's hands. It's all in his hands. I love you all. In Yahushua Messiah, I love you. I really do. But it's not my love.